Hello, my name is Kayla, and today we'll be talking about the Disgusting Food Museum video. I have 3 foods that I chose today, and the first one is Kasumarzu. So, Kasumarzu is a Sardinian cheese that's created through fermentation and almost rotting. There are no stated health benefits, not that I could find, but there are some health risks, and I think that Kasumarzu is banned in most European countries, and it cannot be sold. Well, it's not banned, but it definitely cannot be sold in any of those countries because there are maggots within it, which I forgot to mention. Kasumarzu is a Sardinian cheese, also found in Corsican villages in France, that is made from another kind of cheese called pecorino by allowing a fly called Piophila casei to lay its eggs within the pecorino cheese, and the maggots, they begin to break down the material and turn it into a more soft textured cheese. It's creamy. Kasumarzu is said by most people to be stinky, gross, and unhealthy, but because it is so traditional and so cultural for the Sardinians, they kind of uphold it because it reminds them of the simple life that people lived before them, being more modern, being more, new age. Also, Kasumarzu it won the Guinness World Record for being the most dangerous cheese. My next food is natto. Natto is fermented soybeans, and it comes from Japan, and it provides fiber, probiotics, vitamin K2, and something called nattokinase, which is good for blood flow, and it could help break down blood clots, lower blood pressure. It's very good for literal blood flow. Natto is created by fermenting soybeans in rice straw and allowing it to get sort of stringy over time and have like a very pungent smell. And it ferments because of a bacteria that is found on the rice straw that's called Bacillus subtilis. And they leave it to ferment for a day or so, not for too long. And it actually lives for longer than a week. It lives for maybe a month or so in the refrigerator. Natto is served for breakfast, which kind of took me by surprise because it seems more like a savory dish, but my American food mind has confused me into believing that savory foods, quote unquote, cannot be eaten for breakfast, or at least things that are not sweet. It's normally eaten with pickled veggies and miso soup dishes and rice, and it has a very strange origin story, a story of a samurai and his army kind of having no choice but to allow the soybeans to ferment because they had to travel and couldn't eat them quite as early as they'd like to. They found them nutritious and they enjoyed the taste, so it kind of just stuck around for years after. My next dish is hakar. Hakar is an Icelandic fermented shark dish made of Greenland shark or their sleeper sharks found in the local area. It has lactobacillus strains of bacteria, which are good for the immune system, the digestive system, good for, the flora and fauna, the stomach acids. It's good for the belly. Traditional hakaro is made by gutting a shark, gutting a sleeper shark specifically, or a Greenland shark, and placing it, gutting it and cleaning it out, and then placing it in the sand or in gravel and allowing it to ferment for a few weeks. And then after its juices have been, I guess, kind of smashed out of it or squeezed out of it because of the pressure from the stones placed on top of it, that's traditional. Hakaro is made this way. It is cut into strips and hung to ferment a little while longer, to dry out, kind of turn into a jerky texture, and then it is peeled and served. The more modern way to make it is to just place it in a simple press with holes on the bottom to drain the juice out and leave it. I found that it was mostly served, well, you can eat it any time of year, but it's mostly served during Porblot, which is a festival that is that was historically celebrating Thor, the Norse god, but now it's just a celebration that they have out there. It's usually served buffet style in something called a pormatur or toromatur, and it's served with other fermented meats, other fermented dishes in general. And the museum name I chose was the Congenial Museum, because I wanted something that was kind of the opposite of disgusting, but not exactly, you know what I mean? I wanted something that meant joyful, happy, good, delicious all at once, and I wanted it to be understood that every meal is not the same. Everything is not the same. Every culture, every person, everything can be different. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with not eating the same foods as others. And calling someone else's type of food or cultural foods disgusting is rude, and it's insensitive. And it makes you seem ignorant. Like you don't have the capacity to understand someone else's culture, and it's kind of unfair in that way. It's unfair to both parties in that way, because now you seem like you're careless, and other cultures view you that way, or vice versa. It's not a fair fight. And so I chose Congenial because I feel like we should be more positive when thinking about other people's cultures, or thinking about other foods, thinking about things outside of what we're normally used to in general, and being more congenial. And next is my reference list. Thank you.